My name is Naomi McAreavey and I've led this module mapping initiative, and with the generous support of colleagues both within and outside the school, and especially Mike Liffey of Real Smart Media, and with the funding of the UCD President's Teaching Award. One of the things that distinguishes the UCD School of English, Drama and Film is the sheer range and diversity of the modules that are on offer. In English, for example, the range of modules is simply unparalleled in other universities in Ireland or the UK. What this means is that students can find their own personal route through the module offerings, choosing perhaps to specialise in a particular period of literature, like Renaissance or a Victorian literature, or they might decide to focus on a particular genre like drama or poetry, or they could even decide to focus on Irish literature or American literature or British literature. They also have the option to focus on a particular topic or theme like women's writing or issues of gender and sexuality, or they might decide to make a virtue of the range of modules that are on offer and simply choose widely across the curriculum. Either way, the module map is designed to help students make these choices in an informed and careful way. At the most basic level, the module map shows which modules are offered at each stage and shows which modules are core, that is, modules that students must take, and which are optional. It also identifies modules that are offered as general electives. It also states how many modules must be chosen from a particular option list and the semester in which a particular module is offered. For each module, there is a link to the UCD module descriptors where you will find information about content, learning objectives and assessment information. And in many cases, there are short video or audio presentations where the lecturers give a sense of what their modules are about. This is also a chance to virtually meet some of our teaching staff.
Which is, as it happens, one of the two core modules.
Although each of our modules have unique learning outcomes, there are broad connections between modules at particular stages. At stage 1, for example, our modules are designed to facilitate your transition from second to third level learning and to give a basic grounding in your subject. By stage 3, you will have become an independent scholar with advanced and specialised knowledge and skills in your subject. The module map helps to make connections between modules at different stages so that you can consciously build on previous learning. To give one example in English in the area of Renaissance literature, at stage 1, students are introduced to this field through Shakespeare in Literature and Context 1. By the end of this module, students should have a basic knowledge of a small selection of Shakespeare plays and their theatrical environment. At stage 2, students might choose to build on this foundation by taking the module Renaissance Literature, which reads the drama and poetry of Shakespeare alongside those of his contemporaries and examines in more detail the way these writers engage dynamically with their literary and historical contexts. This will then provide the knowledge and skills for more in-depth and research-led work in the Renaissance literature options available at stage 3. Students who take a module like Renaissance Revenge Tragedy at stage 3 benefit enormously from their learning at stage 2 because they're more familiar with the period and have experience of reading early modern texts, and often of the particular writers and genres they'll be exploring more closely. They're therefore likely to perform better as a result. For English, the module map makes explicit connections between stage 2 and stage 3 by colour-coding modules according to historical period. So the orange represents medieval literature, the blue Renaissance, green Romantic, aqua represents Victorian literature, the cerise is modern, the grey contemporary literature, and then the pink represents modules with a broader historical sweep. Often students are interested in exploring a particular genre of literature, or if you want to pursue a career in teaching, you might have to ensure that you have coverage across a range of genres. A basic introduction to generic form and conventions is provided in the Stage 1 module Literary Genre, but you might choose to develop an interest in poetry, for example, at later stages of the degree by registering for modules that take poetry as their primary focus. Our poetry, drama and prose fiction modules are identified by appropriate icons. So the quill represents our poetry modules, the tragi-comedy mask represents our drama modules, the figure reading a book is modules that are particularly on prose fiction, and then the bookcase represents multiple genres, and the camera represents English modules on film, and the laptop are digital humanities modules. These kinds of connections between the modules are really for guidance only. You might make different kinds of choices depending on your own interests or needs. So I would encourage you to take a bit of time just to explore the module map, have a look at the videos that are made by different module coordinators, take a bit of time following the links to the official module descriptors. So don't hesitate to contact me if you have any general questions about the module map. And please feel free to speak to subject heads or the module coordinators if you want any further information about your course.